Level 1. The Desperate Search. You're 24 years old and you've been watching dropshipping YouTube videos for 6 months straight, convinced that you've cracked the code to getting rich without leaving your apartment. You've spent $300 on courses, $200 on ads, and $0 on actual sales. And you're about to give up when you see a post on Twitter from a guy named Michael who claims he made $2.7 million in 1 year selling cheap phone cases on Shopify. The post has a screenshot of his dashboard with numbers that look too good to be true. But you've already clicked the link because the desperation is real, and you've been looking for any sign that this could actually work for someone like you. You watch his webinar that night, and he's confident, charismatic, and everything he says sounds like the answer you've been searching for. And by the end of the webinar, you've pulled out your credit card and paid $997 for his complete dropshipping system without hesitating. You spend the next 2 weeks following his instructions, building a store, running ads, and waiting for the sales to roll in. But nothing happens. No sales, no traffic, no sign that any of this is real. You message Michael asking for help, and his support team sends you a generic response that tells you to trust the process. And you try to trust the process, but the process is taking your money and giving you nothing in return. You post in the Facebook group asking if anyone has actually made money, and the comments are filled with people saying the exact same thing. They've spent hundreds on ads and made nothing, and the only people who say they made money are the ones who are promoting Michael's course for an affiliate commission. You start to realize that Michael might not be who he says he is, that the screenshots might be fake, that the success stories might be staged, and that you've been scammed out of $997 by someone who has never actually sold a product in his life. You feel stupid, you feel used, and you feel the anger building in your chest because you trusted someone who told you exactly what you wanted to hear and took your money without giving you anything in return. Level 2. The Decision. You spend a week being angry at Michael, at yourself, at the whole industry, but the anger slowly turns into something else when you realize that Michael's course has thousands of students and he's making millions from people just like you. You start thinking about how easy it was for him to sell you on the dream, how he used the same tactics you were trying to use on customers, and you realize the real money isn't in selling products, it's in selling the dream of selling products. You make a decision that will change everything. You decide to become Michael. Not to copy him exactly, but to become the thing that people are desperate for. A guide, a mentor, a guru who can show them the way. You take his course and you record your own version of it. Not because you know more, but because you know how to sound like you know more. And sounding like you know more is the only thing that matters. You launch your course for $497, half the price of Michael's, because you know that people who can't afford Michael will come to you. And within the first week, you make $3,000 from desperate people who believe in you the same way you believed in Michael. You feel guilty at first, but the guilt fades as the money comes in, and you tell yourself you're just giving people what they want. And what they want is hope, and hope is the most profitable product on the market. Level 3. The Empire. You're 26 years old and you've been running your dropshipping course empire for 18 months, and you're making $25,000 a month from thousands of students who believe in you and pay you for guidance that doesn't work. You've created a Facebook group with 5,000 members, you've hired a virtual assistant to handle customer support, and you've become the thing you used to hate. A fake guru selling fake dreams to desperate people. You buy a better apartment. You buy a used BMW. You start posting photos of yourself on Instagram with captions about how hard work pays off, and the photos get likes and comments from people who don't know the truth. One night, you're scrolling through the news and you see a breaking story about Michael, the guru who scammed you, being arrested for fraud on national television. The news report shows footage of him being led away in handcuffs, and the anchor says, Michael was caught after a lengthy investigation by authorities working with victims who came forward. At the bottom of the screen, a phone number appears with a message saying, if you know of any other scammers, contact this number. You laugh at the screen and say, he was careless. He got what he deserved. And you turn off the TV because you're too busy making money to care. Your best friend Marcus is sitting on your couch and he watches the screen longer than you do, and you don't notice the way his eyes linger on the number or the way his jaw tightens when you laugh. Level 4. The Trap. Michael's downfall becomes a warning to you, and you tighten your operation, cleaning up your social media and deleting old posts that might look suspicious. A woman named Sarah contacts you through your website. She says she's a student who wants to learn dropshipping, and she pays for your premium mentorship package worth $2,000 without any hesitation. You don't think much of it because you have plenty of students like her, people who are desperate and willing to pay anything to escape their current lives. And she fits that description perfectly. Sarah spends hours on calls with you, asking questions and sharing her personal story about being scammed by a previous guru who taught her nothing. And she even tells you about her father who abandoned her family when she was young. You feel a connection with Sarah, almost like you're mentoring someone who could become like you. And you share details about your own journey and how you got your start. You think she's just another desperate student who will probably fail and blame you for it. But you don't know that she's recording every call, saving every message, documenting every single lie you've ever told. You don't know that she's the person on the other end of that phone number. You don't know that Marcus called her. You don't know that your mother called her. You don't know anything. Level 5. The seminar. Your mother calls you one day and she's excited, telling you about a conference that would be perfect for you to speak at. And she says she already signed you up as a surprise because she wants to support you now. You're confused because your mother has never approved of your business, but she tells you she's been watching your videos and she's proud of you now. And the words make you emotional because you've been waiting years to hear her say that. The conference is in a hotel ballroom in Las Vegas, and when you arrive, there are 200 people in the audience who paid $1,500 each to hear you speak. Your mother is in the front row, and she's trying to smile, but her eyes are red and she looks like she's been crying. And you assume she's just overwhelmed with pride because her son is finally successful. You start your speech, telling the same story you've told 100 times. The broke 24-year-old who found the system and turned his life around. And the audience is captivated because they believe you. Halfway through your speech, you look at your mother and she's crying, really crying. And you think she's happy. You think she's finally proud of you. You've been waiting your whole life for this moment. Sarah walks up to the stage mid-sentence with security behind her, and she says, "I have a few questions for you." You don't recognize her because you've never seen her face before. You've only spoken to her on the phone and exchanged emails. She plays recordings of your calls, the lies you told, the fake promises, the way you laughed about your students who would never make any money. The audience erupts and security rushes in to arrest you, and you look at your mother and she's not proud anymore. She's breaking, she's crying, she's destroying you because she loves you too much to let you become this person. You're handcuffed on stage in front of 200 people, and the last face you see before they take you away is your mother's, tears streaming down her face, because she did the right thing, and the right thing is the most painful thing she's ever done. Level 6. The trial. The trial happens 8 months later and Sarah testifies first, describing how she investigated you, the recordings she made, the evidence she gathered, and the victims who lost everything because of you. The jury listens intently as she details every lie you told, every fake promise you made, every person you destroyed with your greed. Marcus takes the stand next, and you don't know why he's there, but he testifies about how he discovered your fraud and contacted your mother with the evidence because he couldn't let you destroy more lives. Your mother takes the stand last, and she testifies about receiving Marcus's evidence and making a choice to contact the number she saw on the news, the number for Sarah, because she had to stop you. Sarah takes the stand again, and she reveals that Michael was her father, that she exposed him first, and that she's been hunting fake gurus ever since. She says, "I've been searching for my father my whole life, and when I found him, he was a fraud. When I exposed him, your mother called me, and I realized you were another Michael." The jury finds you guilty on all counts: fraud, wire fraud, and money laundering, and the judge sentences you to 12 years in federal prison. As they lead you out of the courtroom, you look at your mother and she's crying because she did what she had to do and it destroyed both of you. Level 7. The aftermath. You've been in prison for 3 years and you've had time to think about everything that happened. The news of Michael's arrest, Marcus's unease, your mother's fake excitement about the conference, Sarah's questions. You realize every single person in your life was working to stop you and you were too blind to see it. You find out that Sarah's father, Michael, received 18 years in federal prison, and Sarah is now a public figure who speaks out against online fraud. Marcus visits you and he says he did it because he loved you and he couldn't watch you destroy yourself. And you tell him you understand, even though the understanding feels like a knife in your chest. Your mother visits you once, and she says she did it because she loves you, and she couldn't bear to watch you become the thing you used to hate. You understand now. You understand everything. And the understanding is the worst punishment of all, because you know she was right to do it. You spend the rest of your sentence reading, reflecting, and thinking about the moment your mother called Sarah, the moment she decided to save you from yourself, even if it meant breaking your heart in the process.